So Rohit Sharma, what a bounce back it has been by him alongside Rinku Singh from 22 for 4 to 212 for 4. Of course, you have to give the credit to the captain, 121 of 69 not out. Rinku Singh, 69 of 39 not out. So the way they played, I mean, it was a carnage, an absolute fireworks in the later half of the innings, especially in the last 3 overs. Salim, the debutant, then Ashraf Omarzai, then Karim Janat. They all went all over the park. Rohit Sharma, I mean, it was raining sixes at the Chinnaswamy last over 36 runs. How many? I think 5 or 4 sixes were hit in that particular over. Rinku Singh joined the party. Rohit Sharma was already uh, playing over 100. It was a fantastic innings. But उतना ज़्यादा खुश होने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Let's make a quick analysis. Two key points. 22 for 4. In the power play, 30 for 4. 6 overs. Can you afford to do that? Can you afford to put yourself in such situation, especially not against Afghanistan? For example, like a top quality side, maybe Australia, maybe England, New Zealand, and even Pakistan. Can you afford to put yourself in such a devastating situation right at the start of the game? You wanted to test yourself by choosing batting first in the toss, and then you wanted to go and express yourself. So, quick analysis would be like Farid Ahmed. He bowled beautifully. And trust me, it wasn't a 200 pitch. वो 180 का पिच था. It was always a 180 pitch. 180 वहाँ आराम से बैठ करके थोड़ा दिमाग से बैठ करके बन भी जाता. It was always a 170 180 track, and that's the fashion Afghanistan have started. But then they surrendered. Then they gave the edge to India after the 10 overs. So what happened is Farid Ahmed came in. First over I was watching the game. There was tennis ball bounce. There was some extra bit of bounce, and not natural bounce. It was different. Farid Ahmed, and the way he bowled, I mean, I remember him from the Asia Cup 2022 T20 game against Pakistan. It was the Sharjah game. He and maybe Asif Ali, they got into a banter. It was a difficult situation. I mean, lots of love. Then chairs were broken by the Afghanistani fans. You remember, it was Farid Ahmed, this man, who was involved in that particular clash against Asif Ali, and he was ideally there. I mean, he showed aggression after picking up the wicket. So आज जब मैंने इसको bowling करते देखा, when Farid Ahmed bowled, he reminded me of Neil Wagner. Exactly the kind of line, the kind of length, the kind of actually height, and even the way he bowls that heavy ball. A bit similar to Neil Wagner. Neil Wagner does it with the red ball, where he's got protection, he's got strategies, and he's got, of course, a lot more number of overs. But Farid Ahmed to be able to do the same in the Chinnaswamy pitch, it was actually quite astonishing to see that. But that pitch, that wasn't a flat pitch, that wasn't a typical Chinnaswamy deck. There were cracks, and the color was as usual very shiny, very beautiful, but there was grass covering. There was a little bit of grass covering, and that allowed the ball to bounce unevenly. Not quite keeping low, but it was the kind of tennis ball bounce, not quite coming on, not quite. I mean, you have to, as a bowler, you feel that if you hit the deck hard, you've got something for your own help. And that's what Farid Ahmed exploited beautifully. And there was swing. There was, of course, swing due to the weather of Bengaluru, of course, during the month of January. And Ashraf Omarzai exploited that from the other end beautifully. And the way he set up Shun, the way it was beautiful. Two in swingers, and then that outswinger. It wasn't a half volley. It wasn't a drivable ball. It was, again, on a length, top of off, just held its line, streamed the way, no feet movement. He was expecting the in swinger, and he just throws his bat in front. He just put his bat face down the line, then edge beautifully taken. Outside edge beautifully taken by Ramanullah Gurbaz. 22 for 4. Then Sanju Samson comes in, and what an awful shot that was, I have to say. I mean, again, similar dismissal Virat Kohli, but again, Virat Kohli, the kind of mindset he's coming in with, especially in his IPL home ground, he wants to dominate. He was already batting outside the crease. He might have not really assessed the way Farid Ahmed was bowling or the way the pitch was behaving. Virat Kohli, if he could have given himself a little bit of time in that track, who knows? But again, from the outside the ball actually, both the dismissals of Sanju Samson and Virat Kohli, the ball pitched outside the leg stump and then angled across. It bounced a little bit more than they expected. It was, of course, on the shorter side. And again, as I said, Farid Ahmed bowls a heavy ball. The extra bounce got rid of Virat Kohli and Sanju Samson. Both of the ball hit the splice of the bat, hit the striker of the bat. But I think Sanju Samson, he could have just given himself a little bit more time. He just comes in, this 22 for 3. You playing your first game in the series, you have given a limited amount of opportunities, and all of a sudden, the last game before the T20 World Cup, he goes out, plays a shot like that, gets out. I don't know. I mean, it was a big opportunity for him. He could have just played a few balls. I mean, there was no harm. Nobody was going to point fingers at him. He just went out there and played a shot that wasn't actually required at that moment. Now, from 30 for 4, what happens is both the pick of the bowlers have been bowled out in the power play, 3 and 3, Omar Zai and Farid Ahmed. They've got just one over apiece left. What does the Afghanistan captain do? He brings his spinners, Kes Ahmed. Kes Ahmed bowled beautifully, tell you what. He turned the ball, he bowled at a good pace, he bowled at a good trajectory, didn't allow Rohit Sharma to break free. Rohit Sharma was looking to target him with the reverse sweeps, the switch hits, and even the big shots. Rohit Sharma was struggling at that period of time where Rinku Singh actually cashed in. Rinku Singh made sure that the scoring rate was going up and above. At a slow rate, but at a continuous rate, of course. Now what happened is, where the game shifted when Rohit Sharma targeted the debutant Salim with a pull shot for 6. Even that was fine. I think 13 runs came off that over, but the game actually shifted. And when Afghanistan actually, uh, they just surrendered. They just surrendered when the left arm spinner was attacked. Two sixes of Rohit Sharma, one of the pull straight. It was a cross batted shot straight over long on. It could have just gone down the throat of long on. Then the game would have been different. Rohit Sharma gets out at this stage, but he connects enough for 6. The next shot was a switch hit, and that was the shot of the day for me. That one and one of Karim Jannat off the back foot, over long off, slapped, cross batted for 6. I mean, those two shots. So now the switch hit, that actually shifts the momentum towards Rohit Sharma. Now he gets in, then another switch hit against Kas Ahmed in the next over is Kas Ahmed's last over. Switch it for 4. Kas Ahmed finishes off with figures of none for 28 in his 4 overs, and now it was game on. Rohit Sharma, Rinku Singh versus the other Afghanistani bowlers, Umar Zai, Karim Janat, and Salim. They all went all over the park, and that's where game shifted. The pitch was always a 180 pitch. It was always a 180 pitch. अफगानिस्तान के bowlers ने 3 bowlers का नाम मैंने लिया. In fact, Karim Janat also bowled well. In his 2 overs, he was none for 18. Last over went for 36. Karim Jannat का last over bowling करना बनता ही नहीं था. It should have been Farid, but they had to bring in Farid early in the 18th over because they were already leaking runs. What Afghanistan captain missed out was maybe they could have just brought in Umar Zai in the middle, or could have just given him another over, 4 overs on the trot, because he was swinging the ball even at that stage. Even against Rinku Singh, I think there was an appeal, LBW appeal, that they went for the review, but the time was already up. That's why they couldn't quite take the review. So Umar Zai, I don't know. Afghanistan missed the trick. They could have also left an over of K.S. Ahmed. I mean, 36, kitna, 36 to nahi khata. The way he was bowling flatter, and even he was turning the ball, he could have just gone for 18, 20, but not 36 in the last over. I'm not saying that K.S. Ahmed should have bowled the last over. Farid should have been the one who should have. Farid is the one who should have bowled the last over. K.S. Ahmed in the middle, 17th over maybe. I don't know, but अभी तो बात करके कुछ फायदा नहीं. इस 180 के पिच को आपने स्ट्रेच करके 212 तक ले आप जा चुके हैं. And I've always said that Rohit Sharma, when he gets in, when he gets going, on his day, he can destroy any bowling attack in the world. But what I'm really keen to see is, if India get themselves in such a position or such a situation in a big game against a big side, against a quality bowling lineup, where there's no one to target, where you cannot target a bowler uh, in terms of inexperience and in terms of his skills. I mean, against a top quality side like Australia, if you play out Cummins and Stark, there's still Hazelwood to come. There's still Zampa to come. There's still Maxwell who can do the job, as well as Stoinis and Mitchell Marsh. Even Cameron Green in these sort of pitch, he will get the extra bounce. Against England, you've got bowlers like Jofra Archer, maybe if he's fit, Mark Wood, then Adil Rashid, the quality spinner. Moeen Ali can chip in. David Willey can be there. Chris Wokes, of course, is there, who can be a fantastic exploiter of these conditions, even in the conditions like what you're going to get in the Caribbean. There will be slowness, there will be uneven bounce, there will be tennis ball bounce, there will be uh, spin, there will be a little bit of deviation here and there. And that's where a huge side. That's where a quality side actually emerges. They've done it against Afghanistan. Tick to them, full credit to them. But the question is, can they do it consistently in big games against big sides? Do we have that temperament? Do the team has that temperament when it comes to playing or batting, especially batting? We saw it in the World Cup final as well. Batting in challenging conditions. That wasn't a bad pitch. I mean, the commentators were saying constantly such a pitch, such a pitch. There's no such pitch. There has to be challenges in the pitch, and it was always a 180 pitch. I'm not saying it was a 150, 160 pitch. It was always a 180 pitch. There was challenge, there was turn, there was tennis ball bounce, as I said, but these are the conditions you thrive as a player when you bat and when you score runs.